I feel as if my dad is against the majority of habits I do and had openly told me that YouTube is a waste of time and I need to go to college to get a degree. If your dad is rich, you might want to listen to him. If he's living a life that you don't want to live and he's kind of fat and he doesn't have a good sex life and he's not rich, you probably don't want to listen to him. It's crazy how many parents just want to fucking keep giving advice to their children, even though the parents aren't even in good places in their lives anyway. My channel has 250 subscribers and is something I want to grow. I've posted about 70 videos in the last year, with some of them getting 1,000 views. Not short. Very nice. I'm in senior year of high school, 17 years old, and I want to take a gap year next year to grow my channel, but my dad thinks it's an absolutely terrible idea and I should go get a degree. Your father is absolutely and utterly wrong. You're actually right. This is a genuinely really good idea, honestly. Like, if I did this, I would have been multiple years ahead of where I am right now. Your dad thinks it's a terrible idea, maybe just because he's stuck in the system himself. He's living out like an outdated, ignorant, uneducated mindset. Basically, your dad thinks that you should rush to go get your degree, but you could just take a gap year and then go for the degree when you're 19 years old instead. So there's basically zero risk. The risk of you not going for the degree is that you'll go when you're 1 year older, which won't make a difference because there'll be some 19-year-olds in the first year anyway. So there's basically zero risk in not going to university. Zero risk, because you can go again in 1 year and you'll be a better student just because you'll be older and more mature. Your dad doesn't know shit, basically. It is my dream to grow a YouTube channel and make a living helping young men overcome their problems. He also doesn't like the fact that I'm bulking and trying to build more muscle. He thinks it's a selfish permit that helps no one and that I'm becoming a narcissist. He also doesn't like you or your content and doesn't like the fact that I've distanced myself from my Jeffrey friends because he thinks I'm becoming antisocial. We are having conflicting political views. He is a strong believer in feminism and leans more democratic, whilst I lean more central and have more of a more beliefs associated with being based view of the world. He's feminist. I'm grateful for everything my father has done for me. Nice. He has helped raise me and provided for me and has been a huge influence in my life, but I don't know how to go about this situation. We constantly get into arguments about college life and other stuff. Overall, just feel slight bit of hostility from him and disapproval for what I'm doing. We don't have many deep conversations anymore because we end up getting into arguments. I feel like there is a rift forming between us and we grow more distance. How should I go about this situation to create a better relationship and to tell him what I want to do with my life? First and foremost, if you're watching this video on YouTube, just scroll down right now, go click on the subscribe button. You'll help this channel grow and more young guys will get onto self-improvement. Here's the thing. How do you deal with this situation? You go and do whatever the fuck you needed to do anyway, and you just don't listen to your father. It's as simple as that. You literally just simply do not listen to him. It's literally just that simple. You go and live as if your father is dead. I will repeat that again. You live as if your father is dead. He might shout like a little bitch. He might say this. He might say that. He might be mean towards you. He might start some arguments. You listen. Or you pretend to listen whilst you think of business ideas in your mind and he just keeps yapping on, and you agree with him and you tell him, okay, yeah, you're right. And then you go and do whatever the fuck you were going to do anyway. It will piss him off. He might even get violent, but this is the only way a man can live his life. You can only ever live your life. Imagine like on your deathbed with your short life that you get to live, spending 4 years for your parents, even though you knew it was completely and utterly retarded to go to college. Imagine that. For the young guys right now who are in college because their parents basically forced them to, I just want you to know that I think you're a complete and utter pussy. To spend years of your life to do something you didn't even want to do, that you knew was not right for you, just to try and make your parents happy because you're too much of a fucking pussy to have that awkward conversation with your parents. Let me ask this, right? Because I bet some kids are getting pissed off that I'm calling them pussies, but they are. You know why? Why would you go to university? Because you don't want to have arguments with your dad. Do you really think that the kids who listen to their parents and go to university don't have arguments with their parents anymore? No, with this type of parents, you're going to have arguments even if you listen to them. That's the weird, fucked up part about all this, isn't it? If you've got a parent like this, you're going to have arguments even if you literally fucking listen to them and do what they say. So you're going to have arguments anyway, right? You're going to have like a pretty shit relationship with your parents when they're this type of people anyway. So you may as well have a shit relationship with them when you're doing what you think is best for you through your educated lens rather than through their ignorance. So this is why it pisses me off when I hear of young guys who are going to university who don't even want to go, and they say, oh, well, you know, it's just a backup option anyway. And like, you know, it's only 3 years, then I'll go and do what I really want to do. I just think, oh, you're living like such a fucking coward. The only reason you're considering it is just because your father's putting some pressure on you and you're too scared to have an awkward conversation. But you're going to have awkward conversations throughout your time in university with them anyway, because it'll never be enough. They'll run your fucking life to the ground, and then when you're not doing so good, he'll shout at you anyway. So do you see how retarded it would be to ever listen to a human being like this who clearly is not like mentally right, even though, you know, it sounds horrible to say that. You don't listen to people like this, whether they're your father or your mother or anything else. You don't listen to people who are ignorant and uneducated. You don't listen to people who don't have the results in life that you want. It sounds crazy. I'm this dangerous YouTuber who's telling you not to listen to your parents. Again, if your dad is the epitome of health and sexiness and power, confidence and wealth and happiness and mental health, everything, then listen to him and unsubscribe from me. Never watch my videos again because you don't need me. But if your father is basically like you wouldn't say it, but I'm allowed to say it. If your father's basically a bitch, if he's basically like some low-T, flabby, like complacent guy, you wouldn't say it. You're not allowed to say it. I'm allowed to say it. If he's a bitch, why the hell would you listen to him? If he's like an alcoholic or he eats shit food, he eats fucking white bread or something. If he maybe gets a pity hand job once a month from your mother, maybe if he's been good, like a fucking little boy, if he's done his chores. He leaves little poo-poo stains on the inside of the toilet seat. Bro, this is not the epitome of a man who's like, you know, giving you amazing advice. Again, if he's like some fucking James Bond, he is more of a man than me. And he is like this hardworking, rich guy. And he is sexy, attractive. He's got a six-pack. By all means, listen to him instead of me. Usually when I get these kinds of posts and I get young guys who are asking me for advice and saying, oh, but my dad wants me, you know, they're forcing me to go to university. Usually it's like their fathers are basically pussies, broke, fat, ugly, smelly, unhygienic. Why would you take advice from basically a man who's at the bottom rung of society? No wonder he's so like mentally, like emotionally pissed off. Sometimes you need to hear this brutal fucking reality slap, right? You're not allowed to say these things, but I can say them. So if that's the case, then you don't fucking listen to a person. It doesn't matter. Like, yeah, sure, he's your father. Yeah, be respectful. Fine. Sure. Go ahead. But you don't fucking create life decisions for anyone else other than yourself. You take advice from wise people, from people who have gotten great results in life, from their wisdom. But you do not allow any tyrants to control your life and run it to the fucking ground, because when they run it to the ground, they'll shout at you anyway. When you listen to what they say, you'll get into arguments anyway. So it's literally a lose-lose situation. There's just in one situation, in one alternative universe, you get to just relentlessly pursue what you want. And you mature faster because of that. And you reach success faster because you're pursuing a business instead of like some shitty degree that you didn't even want. Now, if you were dying to get a certain job, which you're not, but, you know, for some people, I always have to give this disclaimer because there's always some dickhead in the comments who's like, actually, Hamza, degrees can be valuable. Yeah, of course they can. If you want to be a doctor, sure. But this young man doesn't want to. This young man already has like a business outline that you want to go all in on. So you don't need a fucking degree for that. And to say like, oh, but you should just get a degree for a backup option. Are you taking the piss? Your backup option takes 3 years to set up. Are you fucking mentally disabled? That's your backup option. 3 years of your fucking youth is your backup option. A backup option is like, oh yeah, like if YouTube doesn't work out, then I'll go to university. Fair enough. Okay, you've not set anything up for that, fine. But to say like, oh yeah, just go get the degree, just go spend 3 years of your life having mental health problems. and then that's your backup option. You do realize when you get a degree, you're still eligible for largely the same fucking jobs that you're eligible for right now. You do realize that, right? So basically, degrees are just fucking scam pieces of paper. They're not even worth the pieces of paper that they're written on. Never mind 3 years of your life. Never mind also the tens of thousands of dollars that you put into the system. There might be a bunch of little fucking bots, as Sneeko would say, like in the comments below. There's so many of them, even on my videos. I'm so surprised that they think that they're welcome here for guys who say like, oh, well, Hamza, not everyone can be an entrepreneur. Who the fuck said everyone can be an entrepreneur? When did I say that 100% of humans should be YouTubers? When did I ever fucking say that? It's like, if you want to be a YouTuber and you've been working hard on it and you're, like you said, you're already getting 1,000 views sometimes. Now that's actually promising when you're 17 years old. Okay, fair enough. That's actually basically you've started a business and your business isn't extremely profitable, but you've gotten the first signs of success. That's actually very impressive at 17 years old. I'm not saying that 100% of humans need to be entrepreneurs or influencers or YouTubers, but for the guys who are actually pursuing it, like, by all means, go and pursue your fucking dreams. Like, what kind of life would you want to live where you didn't do that? Like, why would you want to live that life? You're still going to have problems with your parents anyway. So just fucking deal with it and do what you need to do. Go and read one of the first chapters of The Way of the Superior Man. Live as if your father is dead. You have to live as if your father is dead and not change your decisions based on him being a tyrant, him telling you that this is better, him telling you that you should make decisions like this. Because no one wins when you do that. Your relationship with him does not improve. You can tell, right? You don't get happier, you get resentful. And he doesn't get happier because you're not even producing great results anyway. So when you listen to your parents in this kind of situation, nobody wins. Literally, everyone loses. The one option you have is to go and pursue what you want, and you could potentially win. And in some ways, he feels like a loss, fine. But eventually, when you're really super fucking successful, then he's going to feel like it's a win too. You only have one option. It's that simple. There's literally no other option for you to otherwise, other than following this advice that I'm about to give you. You need to go and live your own life. There is no other way about it. Nobody wins if you don't. Let's read some of the comments. Alistair said, have you shown him positive comments? My dad didn't really care for YouTube and didn't see value in it until I showed him several people saying how inspiring my videos are and how it guided them in the right direction. I mean, he could be practically insane to not see that as a good career path if you showed him those comments. Yeah, the truth is, most parents, like a lot of parents, are like practically insane these days. Like, it's insanity to recommend your child go into college. It's sheer fucking ignorance. Like, you've got to look at the situation, like look at the pieces on the chessboard basically, and see, okay, let's analyze what the world is like. It's extremely expensive. It's extremely time consuming, and the reward is fucking minimal. You could be literally the job that you'll get after university, you'll probably be on 22, 25K a year. You could go and get that job right now anyway. So it's again, because you're not going to go for an amazing degree, right? Again, if you were going to go and you had the possibility to get into, I don't know, some kind of finance degree or some kind of surgery degree, surgical degree, neurosurgeon or some shit, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. We can talk about that. But for the kids who don't want to go to university and end up fucking taking psychology degrees like I did, or general fucking studies or media studies or some bullshit, basically you're not gaining anything from that worthless degree. There's 5 different kinds of degrees that are worth it, and you're basically retarded if you pursue anything other than those 5, which are STEM degrees. So there's technology, engineering, maths. There's a few degrees that if you got them, you'd actually have a pretty good life, fair enough. But unless that's something you're actually really fucking good at, you're amazing at fucking engineering. If not, it's why would you go to university and get a psychology degree? What the fuck is that going to do? You're congratulations, you get it, and you literally can only get the same jobs as you could have gotten beforehand. But you've just wasted 3 years of your life while some kid stayed at home, posted to TikTok, and now makes 10 times more than you do. Plus now you have to fucking work full time to be able to pay off the debt that you put yourself into. All because you didn't want to have an uncomfortable conversation with your father. That means you're a pussy. Naruraya said, try to understand that your dad grew up in a different time. The world has rapidly changed and in his head traditional education is the only way to do well in life. See, I don't have sympathy for this. I used to have sympathy thinking, oh, but like think about it from no. If your parents are being tyrants and forcing you and basically are too stupid to educate themselves on what the world is like right now, well, I won't speak with respect towards that. I won't say like, oh, but bro, let's just be grateful, bro. No. If they're about to make you sacrifice 3 years of your fucking youth so that you can go and do an outdated wealth creation method, that is just plain and stupid, plain stupidity. So I don't do this sympathetic, cute stuff of like, oh, but like, they grew up in a different time, bro. Who gives a fuck? Well, who gives a fuck? Like, if some old white guy came up to me and you and randomly called me a Paki, would you just be like, oh, but bro, he came in? No, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Oh, but he came from a different time. Who gives a fuck if someone came from a different time? It's now, it's 2024, you dickhead. Get with the time. It doesn't matter. Oh, like, imagine if some old guy came up, me, you, and we have like a black friend, and an old guy came up and said to him the N-word with fucking hard R. You wouldn't just be thinking, oh, but he's just comes from a different time. We'd be thinking, fuck you, dickhead. Get with the fucking time then. Anyone who's not with like the current time, who's living this outdated life, that's just stupid. That's their ignorance, not ours. So none of this sympathetic, cute stuff of like, oh, but he came from a different time. So fuck you and get updated then. Learn what life is like right now then. What is life like right now? 15-year-old girls make more money than doctors could ever make, that they could ever dream of. Influencers and YouTubers and online entrepreneurs are reigning king. And as much as people will say like, oh, influencers are cringe, this and this and this, it's the single greatest business model we've ever come across. So it'd be kind of foolish not to be able to take that seriously. If you hate, talking on camera or writing tweets or dancing on TikTok, fair enough. And you really like engineering and stuff. Yeah, fair enough. But this business model is extremely lucrative. It would be a shame for you to not consider it or for you to not take it seriously. And if you do this bullshit of like, oh, but you can go to university but still work on YouTube, you won't make it. Because there's a guy who's not in university who's giving it all on his YouTube, and he's gonna fucking destroy you. There's a guy whose YouTube is his full-time thing. So there's no logical argument here. It's just you simply can't listen to this man, this fucking bloke again. He wants what's best for you is only experiencing from his personal, and he's only speaking from his personal experience, which, no disrespect to your father, may be outdated. Try and show him examples of people who have successfully made money online. If you tried this, I don't believe it would work. There's certain people you can't save. They've just got this weird fucking, like the stupid ass mindset. Like, for example, he thinks that you go into the gym is narcissistic and selfish. He doesn't sound like an intelligent man. Actually, you know what? I don't have to like be fucking cute here. He sounds like a fucking idiot. I can say the truth. He's not my father. He sounds like a fucking idiot. Honestly, he sounds like what is this? Fucking strong believer in feminism. He said that building muscle is narcissistic and selfish. He said that you should go and get a degree. He sounds like a fucking idiot. Why would you listen to a fucking idiot who's ignorant and has no knowledge about the modern world? Again, is he rich and super happy and sexy with a six-pack and he's got a loving relationship? Is he? If he is, fair enough, it's worked for him. But if he's not, if he's kind of flabby, if he's got like that hair next to his belly button and he gets like fucking fluff from his shirt stuck in his belly button and he just kind of smells a bit unhygienic and he leaves bits of poo-poo stains on the seat, this is a fucking bottom of the barrel like bloke right here. Why would you listen to the fucking pawns of the world? Why would you want a life like that? You don't want a life like that, so you can't listen to people like that. Because he'll drag you down to his level and then get pissed off at you that you're down there. Try being empathetic with your father rather than just head-on attacking. So what you do when there's arguments, you don't be empathetic and you don't attack him back. You agree with him. You talk like he wants you to. And then you do what you were going to do anyway. So your father says, listen, son, you're going to university. And you're like, yeah, you know what? Like, you are actually right. And he's like, oh, okay, fair enough. You keep working on YouTube. It gets time to apply for university and you don't even fucking apply. Son, you haven't applied for university. Oh, yeah. Like, I'm just doing it now. Yeah, I was just choosing one of the courses. I think I've decided which one. I'm going to go apply for it right now. And he's like, okay, sweet. The deadline's getting close and you haven't applied. Son, have you applied for university? Yes. He realizes you've lied and he starts screaming at you. Yeah, Dad, you're so sorry. You're so right. Actually, like I really messed up. I probably should have just applied, but the next application will be coming in a little while. I'll do it then. Boom. You basically just keep fucking lying to him, because with these kinds of people, there's no other alternative. I wish I didn't have to make this video, because I'm going to seem like a dickhead, right? I'm going to seem like some dangerous influencer telling you not to listen to your broke, unattractive, flabby father, because the modern world would think that he would be better at giving you advice than me. A 26-year-old millionaire. But he's your father. You got to respect. Shut up, fucking peasants. Take a step back and try and understand why he thinks the way he does, and why he has certain negative opinions on things that in reality are really positive. On the contrary, understand that it's going to be very difficult to change his opinion on things. Yeah, don't try and change his opinion. Just fucking pretend. Play him as a fool, and then do what you're going to do anyway. Try to avoid arguments, as they will deteriorate your relationship with him and get you nowhere. As difficult as it may be, remain calm and reply to his hostility/arguments with politeness, maturity, and empathy. It's a very difficult situation you're going through, but I thoroughly believe once your dad starts to see the results of your hard work and sees you gain independence, he will understand. Yeah, that's basically it. So you pretend to listen to him, tell him what he wants to hear, keep going forward, and it's when you've gotten real results in YouTube, that's when he'll believe it too. Honestly, you can't expect him to support your business if you haven't even made any money off it yet. Make money online to show him that you are capable, then you will have a much better point for taking a gap year. This is very good advice as well. My condolences. It is hard having a soft father who believes in feminism. Yeah, that makes me feel fucking sick, bro. It's kind of like insane how like basically this crazy, ignorant, probably stupid motherfucker, people are watching this, and I could already imagine the comments below this where people will be like, oh, well, Hamza's actually given really dangerous advice. You should listen to your father, little kid. It's just weird, the world we live in, where people will trust a loser man who went through the normal system of like university and, became a good civilian and stuff, compared to like the sort of maverick, like almost dark, mysterious influencers who you've got to be sure are definitely kind of shady or scammy or liars, because it's such a paradigm breaking reality to see someone who's your age, or I'm 26 years old, and to be thinking, wait, how does he make that much money? He's got to be like a liar or a scammer. He's got to have been lucky or have been helped or something like that. And I don't blame people for believing that, because when I was younger, I thought the exact same thing. I used to see adverts of Iman Gaji, and motherfucker would talk about like, being a millionaire when he was 21 years old. And I was certain he was a scammer. It just made sense to me. And now I'm wearing a Rolex that he gave me. What you see on the internet, honestly, like I'm sure there are like some influencers who, fake money or whatever. But like, honestly, what you see on the internet, a large part of the YouTubers you see, honestly, they're all telling the truth with how much money they make and what their lives are like, really. Like I know that there's like a culture on the internet to be like, oh yeah, influencers are all liars and they don't make this much money. They're all scammers and they're all actually broke, but they pretend like they're not. There probably is some people like that, but these days, like, I don't know a single one. Everyone that I personally know is genuinely like right out here making as much money as they talk about. Honestly, every single person that I've connected with is genuinely living like the life like I am. Like, and it sounds crazy because it's like right now I'm back at my parents' house, so it's like, yeah, clearly, Hamza, you're not that rich if you're like living with your parents. And of course, yeah, like fair enough. I don't blame you for not believing me, because it sounds unrealistic. Of course it does, but every day there's a new kid who's realizing this is actually the truth, and they start making 5k, 10k, 25k a month, and they realize just how normal it is to make a fuck ton of money on social media. This is our generation's gold rush, and I can't believe more people aren't getting onto it. This isn't me, hyping up some business model that I don't do myself. This is me hyping up my very business model and telling you, like, it's worth getting into. I think everyone's getting into content, and I really can't imagine where you'd be 3 years from now if you haven't been posting consistently. It'd be such a miserable existence if you haven't gotten into this business model and you just went to like university instead and you just got a shit degree like I did, like fucking psychology. Because there's the thing, I listened to this advice, right? My parents pushed me into university. I listened to it. You don't get anything from there. You really don't. Yeah, you have a good time fucking a bunch of women and taking drugs. Yeah, sure. But the actual like degree, a degree is worthless. There is no such thing as like a fucking valuable degree. There's only like STEM degrees. That's it. If you're gonna get a STEM degree, fair enough, and I could actually support you in that. But anything else is fucking beyond worthless. It's worse than worthless because you spend years and tens of thousands of dollars. You put in so much effort. If you think you're making a successful business or a YouTube channel whilst you're in university, it's just not really gonna happen. So if you've already got dreams for a certain business model and you've been working hard on it already and you've got a bit of bit of success, a little bit of success to begin with, I would give you my blessing to go all in on that. That's what I would recommend as the route to wealth for young people, not to go and get a pointless degree. If you are some nerd who's like amazing at engineering, then by all means go get some engineering degree, go get some AI degree or something, fair enough. But if you're not going to go for one of those fields, do not waste your time with a degree. Do whatever it takes to not have to go. Lie to your fucking father's face. Look him in the eyes and tell him that you submitted your application when you haven't. Who gives a fuck? There's going to be an argument. Bro, there was going to be an argument every week of your fucking life with your dad anyway, right? So it's like there's an argument about this, or there's an argument about some other random bullshit about the way that you drank milk or some weird shit anyway. With certain parents, they're so mentally just stupid and angry and resentful that there's going to be an argument with them every fucking week anyway. So you may as well just go live your life and at least one of you are actually getting what you want out of life rather than the arguments happening anyway and you're stuck inside of university. Like the argument's going to happen anyway. So like, why not just go fucking live your life? Nobody fucking wins for you to sacrifice your life for the expectations of others. You've got literally like 80 years or 60 years left on this planet. You want to spend almost like 5% of your life in this chaotic, stressful environment. Holy fuck, man. What a stupid decision that would be. What a stupid decision that would be. Click the top link in the description to join Adonis Gang. That's my free community. You can come and ask questions and stuff. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.